Good morning. Welcome to Enduro 360. I'm your host, Chili White, and today we're going to talk about some motorcycle boots. You know, in our 3 years here, I don't think we've ever once had a discussion about boots. So it's long overdue. But if you follow the site at all, you know you've probably only ever seen these two pairs of boots, both of which are getting a little worse for wear. But you know, when it comes to a boot discussion, there is hardly a more personal piece of gear that a dirt bike rider wears. And, you know, except maybe for helmets. People have very specific likes and dislikes about boots. So these are my Sidi Crossfires. And the primary thing I can tell you about them is this. They are unbelievably durable. This pair of boots right here, the pair I probably wear the most, these were brand new in December of 2007. Now think about that. That was a long time ago. In fact, a couple of these motorcycles were brand new then. As you know, I spend a lot of time riding. I mean, thousands of miles a year. So to be able to say that my boots are, you know, starting into their 6th season is pretty amazing. And really, when it comes down to the Crossfires, that is what I think is the most important thing. Because let's face it, at $500 range, it's a pretty expensive investment. But again, over the years, I think it's been really a good choice. So I've got two pairs here. These are the white ones. They are long since turned to a dull yellow color, but they still work perfectly. I think this pair is on their 3rd sole. As you can see here on the brake side, that's the side that really gets the wear. That's where I put all my weight. This is the conventional sole. Now this pair over here, these were, when I got these were so cool. The red, white, and blues. You couldn't buy them. A factory rider gave them to me after a year of use. They were basically brand new at the start of the 2008 season also. So they spent an entire year in a factory rider's hands, then he gave them to me, and they have been pretty much my race pair ever since then. These are the replaceable sole, the SRS system. Kind of a tough call between them. Personally, I like the feel on the traditional sole just a little bit better, but the racers all like the SRS because it's super easy to change that out, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. I think the traditional sole lasts a little bit longer, but it's more expensive to replace. So it's kind of a toss-up there. So as you can see, both these boots, while they show a lot of wear, are still in perfectly good condition for use. This pair is about ready for some new soles on the brake side also, or shift side I should say. But I decided it was about time for something new. Yes, it was about time for something new. I had such good luck with CDs, why not get a new pair? So here they are. This is the newest CD Crossfire, and I've got one race, a half a dozen rides on these now, and I'm ready to talk about them. In short, I really like them. When we talk about CDs overall, the first thing I have to say is I don't think there's any boot out there that offers better foot protection than the CDs. Man, I've taken some hits on those other boots so hard, you know, where I was sure I'd broken a toe. But it's one, you know, get a zinger for, you know, 10 minutes riding along in a race and it goes away and turns out everything's fine. I really like the protection on them. I also really like the fact that they're not very tall in the toe area. Some of the boots are really tall and they just, to me, they seem clumsy when trying to work, you know, the shift lever. On the new boots, they've done a couple of things. The buckles are slightly redesigned, and it was always a good design. They stayed buckled really well. Now it's just a little smaller and a little sleeker, and these wear points are now, they actually changed this a little while back, where on the old boots you could really see a wear mark right here. This is now a changeable piece as well as this. I went with the SRS for one particular reason, and that is because they offer this optional enduro sole, which is basically a Vibram style sole for the SRS system, and I thought this might be a really good choice for Romaniacs if it gets muddy. Romaniacs has a lot of places where you just have to get off your bike and walk it, bulldog it, maneuver it around, and so having a good sure grip is a pretty important thing. As you can see here, I've got the sole ready to put on the boot here. These little quarter turn screws go in, and so it's pretty easy. Just put them in, quarter turn. It just takes a couple of minutes to change them. I will say that one of the knocks you hear about the SRS system is that these screws get buggered up and then they need to be replaced. Well, what I found on my old boots is right here in this area they do get a little bit buggered up, but if you'll take just a little bit of time to really clean out the heads before you try to change them, and then maybe just lightly take a file to actually realign the slot once you have it apart, I've gotten a lot of life out of screws that looked like they were in really bad shape. Also, first time I tried to take these apart, I tried to unscrew them all the way, and obviously what they are is they're just a quarter turn that fits in here. But if you didn't know that part, you might spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. So take everything loose a quarter turn, just slip the screwdriver in there, and the whole sole pops right off. So I gotta say, I also went with black this time. Not that black is necessarily my favorite color, particularly for hot weather, but I think the finish on it will hold up better, certainly better than my white did over the long run, and that way I don't have to be so concerned about trying to clean them all the time to keep them looking good. The new boot is definitely a little sleeker all the way around, just a little bit lighter weight, and I gotta say, so far I'm really happy with it. I think there's no reason I shouldn't get another 5 years or so of service out of these things, so I think in the long run, Sidi Crossfires are a good investment. All right, well, hey, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon.